Hey, what's up, guys? I'm about to sell this deck, but I did pretty good with it this past weekend. I'm at Raleigh. I played the obvious deck. I still think it's the diff. Next to, like, I think Voiceless got better, but, like, whatever, let's get into it. You have to play these. There's no reason not to. If you ever cut one of these or one of these, then you're wrong, because I like saving my normal summon and playing around stuff. More starters and consistency cards, never cut this. Side it out sometimes, maybe, sometimes. Side this out maybe, sometimes, a bit, maybe, I don't know, if you are, like, scared of Droll, but, like, probably not. Just keep these cards in. Snake Eye cards, you have to play them, unfortunately, because this is the format. Never cut these. Right ratios, right ratio. This is wrong, but I love it. This card is really good into the current Snake Eye boards and the current format and how people play around you. Because, like, yeah, if you go first and you make the board, you win. But if you go second, this is another extender that lets you play through their disruptions. And if you go first, this lets you play through 3 hand traps instead of just 2. And if they hand trap you once or twice on your end board and you get this out, you can make Flam on their turn and check them for a 3rd hand trap, because you checked them on your turn, so unless they draw it for turn, they don't have it. So you make Flam on the other turn, and then you have a princess target that's actually doing stuff. Another thing that's really big is if you go like Flam target IP and draw phase, and this is on the field, and they imperm the Flam, you can chain this and send the Flam, and it resolves. It's kind of like a Shavara on the field. You can do some battle phase stuff with it too. Like if they attack into something, they'll declare on this, you can like send it, grab a Flam Bridge, and if they can't swing over it, then cool. Or they have to skip the battle phase because they don't want to kill your Flam Bridge. I like it. I like being able to resolve Bonfire to add and summon Poplar and not have my Ash be dead. So yeah, I like this card. You don't have to play it. If you want to play Jet Synchron, perfectly fine. The hand loop list, I think, is probably better. I think this has its merits. I like this more because I'm more comfortable with it. And then these cards never leave my opening hand. I'm going to make a montage right here of every single picture I've taken at the start of the past however many games and tournaments I've played at, where I've opened this card. I got a folder in my phone. You have to play these. They're not bad to open, just don't play more than one, whatever. And you have Ash, and they SP this, then you're kind of fine. And then non-engine, the most important part. So 21 engines, 41 deck. And then 20 non-engine pretty much. You have to play Ash, Imperm, Veiler, obviously. I play 2 Nibiru in main. It's only really good paired with other hand traps, and I'm not maining over 15 hand traps in main, so like this isn't really gonna get paired with anything good. Post side, I play 3 of this, and I put way more hand traps in. 2 Drolls. Just respect the decks, but I was also respecting the fact that a lot of people might be on Pure Snake. I saw, I think, 2 Pure Snakes in Swiss, and a lot of them converted pretty well. One of the ones that was, I think, my tiebreaker into the Top Cut bubble was on Pure. And I wanted to answer Fire King because I knew that would be the most of the room, and I wanted to answer Voiceless, so I still mained him. And they are good paired with other hand traps, but like just not against Pure. And I thought Pure was like secretly still the better build. And then I main 2 Mourner. I don't care about Flu. I win against Flu anyways. I'm the better Flu player, and I'm not even playing it, so I'll just beat Flu anyways. I can beat Flu with 2 bricks in my hand in game 1. I don't really care. We got 8 Veilers in main. We side another one. Cool. And then other stuff, I main 2 Talents and 3 Crossouts. You have to do this. Board breakers are such a trap. Everybody at the top tables was on hand traps anyway, so I made the right call on this. If I was afraid of board breakers in the early rounds, I would just make the Ambler Whale line, and that plays around board breakers, and you beat it anyways. Extra deck is really simple. You have to play it. This honestly came up the least for me. Everybody plays around it, but the only time this ever matters is if you want a original and not send a body. Have to play it, engine, have to play it, engine. I actually missed having 2 of this. I think going forward, if you're going to play this deck, you need 2 SPs. Either 2 SPs or 2 Hitas. I played Hita and Dark. You have to play at least one of these. Standard. Pit Knight. This comes up a lot in the sense that this can miss timing on your opponent's turn. So what'll happen is they'll try to chain block it sometimes, which is, again, to your advantage because they're wasting a card just to chain block this, and then you can just use this later at that point. It's also a Cyberse if you care about the Heat Soul lines. I just don't play that. And it's also a fire, so you can make this, pop it with Princess, end of turn, bring it back. It just keeps coming back as long as you're destroying it. Have to play it. You can play 2. It's pretty good. I usually by the time Cash banishes one of these and I look at my hand, I'm either beating them or my hand couldn't beat them anyways, so I was only on 1. Have to play it. It's Engine. I know Shun doesn't, but I just like having easy access code lines and easy Apo lines. Speaking of Apo, have to play it. It's your only negate end board thing that actually negates. Everything else just kind of interacts. Have to play these, OTK line. Have to play this. I know people pick this or another card. I think you have to play both now. There are a lot of decks that you need to make this into. Voiceless, oftentimes you'll make this to bait out the barrier. So they have to pop this before you pop their board, and then you make Typhon. Also, this plus Raging Phoenix. Not that it matters in like a YCS room, but this plus Raging is your only out to Raid Raptors. Also, you're only out to like random ass decks like AI. I picked Ambler Whale. This card was fine. It came up maybe twice in Swiss. The idea is that this is just a layered interaction that works with board breakers. That's about it. Later rounds in Swiss, I knew nobody was on breakers, so I just didn't use it. There's a world where I just didn't even use it in the early rounds, but like I think it helped me through the weird random rogue stuff. It helped me win a Centurion matchup. And then Typhon, I think you have to play this. It makes unwinnable games winnable. That's about it. So my side is 2 bells. You have to respect Voiceless because that's our hardest matchup still in my opinion. If they know what they're doing and they're playing the right list. And by the right list, I mean no non-engine. This just evens out the play sets of the hand traps. I play 2 of in main, so just side into 3 of them for whatever matchup you need. Put 3 in for Fire King, Voiceless. 3 in for Pure, whatever, and then 3 in for everything, pretty much, besides Voiceless. 2 Econ, this came up maybe once, but it could be anything else. In theory, it's pretty good, because if they have Flam, IP, Apo, and they chain IP, you can Econ, take their Flam, and then they have to link away the Apo. Same mentality with Book of Eclipse, but same thing. You can also use this to, like, Shavara, dodge, Imperm. Lightning Storm. Going forward, if I end up never finding Mistaken Arrest, this will go to 2. But I borrowed a card, spoiler, and then other spell trap removal, 3. I think you have to play at least 4. If you only play 3, you're not going to see it. And sometimes you need 2. So maybe play 5. Just be really scared. The key to siding in spell trap removal is just be really scared and paranoid. And you should be able to side in enough of it to beat them. Anti-spell, I think this card is insane, even though it's a 1 of inside. It's like Imperial Order. If you just go first and you see it, you win, because nobody plays around it, unless they're on Cosmic. And if they Cosmic this, they're not Cosmicing the Temple, or the Emperor, or anything else that actually beats them. 3rd talent inside if you want to main into 3. These are supposed to be Mistaken Arrests. Shout out to Tariq for letting me borrow 2 Mistaken Arrests. I asked somebody in the Facebook chat if they had any copies of this, and they were like, yeah, I got them, and they sent a picture, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'll just pick them up in the morning. He never got back to me. He didn't even show up for the regional. Like, literally last second, Tariq messages me, and he's like, yeah, I got a playset you can borrow, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah. So I borrowed him, and then round 4, I played against him, and I beat him. I'm sorry, but thank you for letting me borrow them. Going forward, though, if you don't have them, just play these. You can play Bestials if you want to, but I don't think they really come up unless you're facing a room of Branded and Voiceless, but the room is on Snake Eye, so nah. And then we have our end board if we are like really ignorant game 1, and that's the deck.